So I ended the previous chapter, I ended a little bit with criticism and hope for the future. But in this last chapter, I want to talk about something really cool. And this is the progress that you see with Divi 5, we call interactions. What I want to create on my page is a menu at the top. Then when people click on it, it will go to different sections on the page. Let's create 3. We'll create an About Us section. Then we'll create a section on our coffees, this one. And then the last one, we'll create a contact section. This is called a jump link. Whenever you're on a page and you have this link at the top and you click on it and it scrolls to a different place on the page, we call it a jump link. Your page jumps. The old way in Divi was very problematic because it wasn't smooth. It didn't scroll nicely. And I did that originally. I thought, let me think about this. And with interactions, which is something new that's been coming into the world of WordPress, and it's slowly getting more and more focused. And you're going to see how powerful interactions is in Divi 5 in the next coming courses and modules. But we'll introduce interactions quickly here. Let's start with the About Us section. And for a moment, just think what we want to achieve. First of all, we want to put a link here at the top. When people click on it, the page will scroll and take them to this section. For that, I first will have to bring in a link. And you can do that with a button. Actually, you can do it with anything in Divi because anything can be linked, but we'll do it with a link module. The first thing is we bring in a new row. That's how it works in Divi. I'll go to the current row at the bottom and click plus and bring in a row, and I'll bring in just one column. In the layers, I will select this row and drag it on top of the row with the current content. Click to add new module or row, search for link and bring in the link. Scroll a little bit so we can see what's going on. Change the link and we call it About Us. And we go to design, just change it a little bit quickly first. This should be text and we will make it larger. Let's make it 24 and we change the color to our snow bright. And we'll leave that for now so you can see what we are working with here. Go back to content because this is where we want to create the link. But the answer is no. That is where we used to do that. We add a hashtag here and we would link it to the other section on the page. But the answer is no, we don't do that. We go to advanced. And yes, this is advanced, but it is pretty awesome. And again, you'll see how it's going to come into play with pop-ups and many other features. Go to interactions. And what interaction mean is a user, a visitor coming to the site and interacting with the site. And that is usually a click or some other kind of action. Currently, there are no interactions. So we're going to add an interaction for this element. Remember, we're in the link element. So the interaction is only for this element. Select add interaction. And look here, you have a few. Do they click on it? Does the mouse enter? Means enter that container. What is going to happen here? And we want a click. Going to see 90% of the time, the interactions are going to be a click. And we say the trigger event is a click. And what do we want it to do? Once I click, what do I want to do? From this drop down, there is a number. And look here, this is exactly what we want. Scroll to element. We want it to scroll to an element, in our case, an entire section. But we select the scroll to element because actually everything is an element. Target. This is where we now have to say, I want you to scroll to the About Us section. Select the drop down and be overwhelmed. This is every element, every module on your page. And you can start guessing and going around here, but you do know this is not a good way to do it. Before we can do this, we go to the About Us section. Scroll, select, make sure the blue box is selected. And we give it a name. Originally, I went to Advanced Attributes, not the way to do it. Go to Content, select Meta, and you see Element Label. By default, it's just called a section. I can give it now a name. and I'll give it something longer, about us. And now I've locked in that name as the label for this section. Go back to the top, select the link that we've created. If you cannot find it, go to the layers panel on the left, select the link, go again to advanced, interactions, and here is the interaction that we've created earlier. Currently, we won't do anything because we didn't tell it where to go. Click Edit Interaction, Target Module, drop down, and now you see there is a section with About Us. Everything is still here, but at least you can spot yours much easier now because it's within brackets, and that's why I gave it a little bit of a longer name so it can stand out more easily. Select Section About Us. Save it, and what we do is we go preview it on the front end. This is still open here. Let's refresh our page. Scroll to the top. Click on About Us. Look at that. This is the way. I'll say it again. This is the way. Knowing now that we have to give this section a name, let's go to the next one, our base coffees. Select it, section content meta, and call this one coffee selection. And scroll to the bottom where the contact form is. Select the section there, and then meta, call it contact us. You don't have to say section because it's also added to it. Now scroll again to the top. And all I need to do now is go to my link. I'll select it over here and I'll duplicate it. Duplicate link and duplicate link. Let's change them out before we style them correctly. Select the second link and text. This one is our coffees. Then we go to advanced interactions and we click on edit. Click scroll and target module. Look for this one, section coffee selection. And then we do it for this one, which is the contact section link. Go first and change the text. Contact us. Then advanced, edit, scroll, and you can go to this one. This one, scroll to the bottom. We're going to find section, contact us. Let's test that first. Save, go to the front, refresh. Go to the top, about us, nice. And it has a smooth scroll. Contact us, very, very nice. And in a way, if you were looking for something like back to top, kind of the same thing, right? Yeah, we'll do that. Not now, but we'll do that. Now we have to style this out. We want these guys next to each other like a header. So we are working with flex, which means we choose the parent container. As I hover over them, the green box, but we know that's not the one we select. We have to select the column. Layers panel on the left, select column, design, layout. And we go for layout direction, row. That's it. You can change the vertical gap if you need a little bit more space, like 45. No, this is horizontal gap, 45. And center align them. Let's take a little bit of padding away from the section at the top. I'll go to my spacing. Currently it's at 100. Put it on 50. And we'll add a margin below this row that we brought in. Where are we? This row. Okay, select the row. Yeah. And margin at the bottom. And we'll add 75 pixels. Save our work. Let's go preview it one more time. Make sure it works properly because we always have to check our links. About us. Ooh. Why my about, these two work? What happened to my about us link? I see this link doesn't want to click. What did I do? Let me select my first link again. Advanced interactions, scroll to, it was there. Did I remove it? Section, add it. Save. It was there. You saw me. It was there. Why did it disappear? Okay, about us. Good, good. Our coffees. Good. And then contact us. But remember, and this is the big mistake, these are not the only jump links on your page. Actually, this call to action here under Pluto Coffee is another one. But now I don't have to set up the name of the Contact Us section because that's where we want this button to go. Select the button, then we create a trigger again. We go to Advanced, add the interaction when people click on it. What do we want to happen? We want to scroll to element. Which element? Target module. Scroll to the bottom and we find our section Contact Us. And save. And I think we have a few more. We have this one, Start Your Journey. You'll do the same. Let's do it one more time. Click on the button. Select the button. Interactions under Advanced. Add interaction. Click. And effect action is scroll to element, target module, and we put it again on section Contact Us. Save. And let's also test those buttons. Even though we're pretty confident they should work, we want to be overconfident. Visit us. Yep. And scroll to Start Your Journey. Yep. And one more. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, where's the other one? Start Your Journey. Oh, that's it. Okay. So those were the two call to actions. This brings us to this finale, always an anticlimax when we come to the end, but you should look back at the work that we've done. Yes, it is a long video, but as you can see, we really have to go into this and understand what Divi is doing. And I think for me, when I started working on what I want to do with this tutorial, I had just finished breakdowns. So I took the outline of breakdowns, tried to do that with Divi, and I found it wasn't working. So I put breakdowns aside and I said, how do I want to teach Divi from the beginning? So I started from the beginning and I looked at those things that were challenging to me as Divi 5 had some changes. And that's how we did it as well, by focusing on things like presets, on variables, and here as well as interactions. And this is the stuff that we will build on Module 2, Module 3, Module 4, and mini courses after that. I really hope this had given you an insight into the world of Divi 5. I love Divi 5. Yes, you saw me get frustrated, but I love and the possibilities that it opens once these little obstacles have been eradicated. It is a master builder. This is not often that you see a builder reinvent itself and match and outperform the current builders on the market. For most of us who had Divi many years ago and then moved away from it, I never could have predicted that Divi could pull this out of their hat with Divi 5. The only problem is when people move on, they often don't come back. And I think every page builder at the moment has the struggle is that a lot of agencies have invested their time in Elementor. They have hundreds plus of websites in Elementor. They can work with Elementor and their eyes closed. For them, even if a product like Divi 5 is superior, the chances of jumping is very rare at this moment. And that is just how the market works. That's why great builders like Bricks and Breakdowns are not getting the market share that they thought they would easily get. If I think of how many people said Breakdowns, the Elementor killer, never happened. Is it because Breakdowns is inferior? Not at all. It's just that people stick to what they know. And a lot of agencies, these guys who work with hundreds and thousands of websites, they are not going to convert all of that. And the second thing is they already know Elementor so well. So learning a new product, why? That's just the reality. And I think, having worked with Brizzy, if you don't offer people a service where you help them migrate, it's going to be very difficult to convince people to jump ship. But I think if you are new and you want to try Divi 5, absolutely go for it. The pricing, especially on discount days, are awesome in terms of a lifetime deal. There's nothing that can match the value for money that Divi 5 offers in terms of a lifetime deal than any other builder on the market. Divi 5 tops this absolutely. Module 2, Module 3, Module 4. Module 2, we will look at multi-pages. We're going to touch a lot more in terms of what you can do with Divi, like variables and typography. It becomes a little bit sophisticated, but we'll be holding hands. Kumbaya, we'll get there. Module 3, we'll look at blogging, which is one of the things that Divi did very well from the beginning. The theme was always geared towards blogging and things like portfolio. And then in Module 4, we'll look at e-commerce. With that, of course, comes the header and the footer builder. In this course, we didn't touch it. module 2, we bring that theme builder back in. From me, JP, yep, what a breath. Let's do it. I'll see you next time.